Wow, it is a cold and windy day here in my little park as I step out and do my first video Walking Sober podcast. Well, I want to welcome you and just let you know that the intention of this is to give you a companion to walk with your journey. You see, I think the very first step, even before if you stop drinking or not, to finding your path towards sobriety is picking a habit that you can do on a consistent basis, something that you can lean on, that you know you can do. And for me, that was walking. One of the things that I loved about walking was if I had a craving or if I was in a situation that I didn't particularly feel comfortable in, I was nervous about, I would just walk outside and go for a walk. And sometimes that was in like an event space and I was feeling a craving, and I wouldn't go for like a walk like I'm gonna walk a mile, but I might walk outside and walk around in the parking lot just to get out of the space. I had to be there because my wife was there, let's say, or something like that, but I learned just to remove myself from a situation can be a very powerful tool. And so I started walking sober here in Austin. And it's just as simple as it sounds, is that on Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock, I meet up at our lovely downtown hike and bike trail, and I walk with other people who are interested in walking a path of sobriety, or just curious, or want to speak to others or spend time with other people that are on that journey. There's no pressure or judgment or anything like that. It's just showing up for yourself and going for a walk. And that got me thinking, how could I support people that are not in Austin that might want to do something similar? And I came up with the idea of having a simple podcast like this. It's not perfect. I'm still learning the logistics of walking and talking and looking at this camera. But my hope is that you could bring me along and it would give you some encouragement to step out and go for a walk on your own. Here, I'm just gonna stop and I'm just gonna show you, instead of looking at me, where I'm at. It's wintertime here in Cedar Park, Texas. And this is like a little local park. There's some guys over here getting ready to play soccer. The swimming pool's there. We're gonna walk around. I'm out here in the soccer fields, but there is a pavilion and a basketball court and all kinds of things that people are doing. There's a community garden I can show you later. But yeah, it's a really cool little park. So today I want to talk to you about how to start, right? How to start. The first podcast of Walking Sober, and the first idea, how to start. So I've already kind of told you the first step, and that is setting a routine of walking. Just that simple. Just that simple. You start walking every day. Maybe you walk when you have a craving. Maybe you walk just to walk in the morning. But the difference is, when you walk sober versus walking for exercise, is that you walk with the intention that you're going to reflect upon your drinking and your habits and maybe getting the gumption up to change. That's what separates this from just walking for heart health and all of that. And the beauty is, if you walk with that intention of walking sober, all those other benefits just kind of come along for the ride. And I think it's an awesome way to send a signal to yourself. And that's essentially what we're doing. We're sending a signal that I'm taking this seriously. That's what the whole idea of joining a membership is, like a gym or a CrossFit or whatever people do. Because you want to send that signal, hey, I'm going to go stand in this place where other people are lifting weights. I don't know what I'm doing, but if you show up, you're probably going to do something. And maybe that'll lead to doing something else. And next thing you know, you have a little habit. And so that's what we're doing here while you walk with me. You notice I'm not walking super fast. Mainly, I guess, that's because I got a camera I've got to hold up and I don't want it to shake too much. But it's also just about walking with intention. There's some kids over here who are practicing football passes and routes. Looks like they got a little coach. I would show you, but it's probably a little inappropriate putting camera on people, so I'll keep it on myself. Showing up for yourself. Just taking a walk. Walk with intention. That's what we're doing. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's doing something for yourself that you know that you need to do. I remember my first couple of years before, I think it was like maybe a year or so. It's hard to remember because it's been over 10 years. But I have this distinct feeling of memory that's deep inside of like when I would think about sobriety before I'd push it away again, that it's like I want some of that in my life. But I also wanted all the rest. I still wanted to go party when I wanted to and all the rest, and I couldn't figure out how to get it done. And the reality is I lived in what I've learned to call moderation hell for way too long. Because once you realize that you want a sober life, a lot of times we spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to make it all work. How to make alcohol still fit in. How could I have this and that? It's a classic human dilemma. I want it all, So eventually, if you keep showing up for yourself, you will get it done, and you'll realize just all the benefits of being sober. I think about just my mindset. I think about how I've been able to handle situations. Life still gives me all kinds of shit problems I got to deal with, but I'm present for myself. How I have so much more time in my day to get things done. It's just, I could go on and on, but I don't want to bore you with that because that's not what this is about. It's about walking and enjoying the day. I really wanted to record this podcast about 10 days ago and get it ready for February 1st, which is today. But we had a cold snap where we had ice here in Austin. I'll put up a picture of my front yard. It wasn't a lot like I'm living in the north because I live in Texas, but it was enough that I just certainly didn't want to walk around in my neighborhood park with a camera. So unfortunately, I'm doing it on this pretty day, and it is indeed a beautiful day, except for the wind a little bit. So I want to tell you a little story about showing up for yourself. You hear me say that term, or maybe you haven't paid attention or didn't pick up on it, but I like to use that word because it's something I've learned about myself, learning how to show up for yourself. And I got that term from my father. Back when I was finishing high school, and it was the summer before I started college, my father sat me down and he told me, son, I'll never forget this. Son, I said it sternly, but he wasn't. He was just like, he was more concerned, would be a better word. He was very concerned that I'll just say it. He was concerned that I wasn't going to do very well in college. He was like, son, I wasn't that good of a student. I just wasn't. I hadn't learned how to study yet. And he's like, if you're struggling in a class, if you're struggling in a class, what I want you to do is to promise me that you'll go to every single class. And then if you're really struggling, I want you to sit on the front row and ask a lot of questions. And that stuck with me. It stuck with me very deeply because that's it, really, right? I mean, it's not anything magical. It's just the idea is if you're going to decide to do something, is that you have to go and get involved, right? You have to show up. You have to, if you want to get a college degree, you actually got to go to the damn classes, right? You can't do it sitting on your butt. And if you want to get sober, you got to get in the game, you know? And good on you for even clicking the play button with me, because you showed up. Here you are. And you know what holds me back a lot of the times it's because I have this stupid mind of mine that I love, but it also does me disservice when I'm like, okay, I want the perfect system. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that, and I'm not sure what to do next, and it paralyzes me. And it reminds me of a little parable, a nursery rhyme that was on a record from my childhood. I don't know where it came from, who gave it to me, but it's the simple song of The Bear Went Over the Mountain. The bear went over the mountain. I don't know the melody. The bear went over the mountain to see what he could see. The bear went over the mountain to see what he could see. And you know what the bear saw? This is some people I've told this story to have different reactions, but the bear saw another mountain. And the whole song for 3 minutes is the bear goes over the mountain to see what he could see, and he sees another mountain. And I think it's very profound, because on a couple of layers. One is that life gives us problems. There's always going to be another mountain to climb. And number two, you can't see over the mountain, so you don't know what to do. So you climb the mountain that's in front of you. Step one is show up, and then you'll see what to do next. We won't get focused on how tall the mountain is or how big it is or if you'll never be able to get over it. You're not even going to get to those steps if you can't show up. So what I would encourage you in my message as I wrap this up today is just learn to go for a walk. The simple act of walking can be your signal to yourself to show up, to just show up for yourself. So I've said that word 1,000 times, it seems like, in this little podcast, but there it is. My name is Terry. I don't even think I introduced myself to you, but if you found this video from some random algorithm thing, I'm so glad you spent some time with me. I have some resources on my channel if you look around on YouTube. Resources, I put out my whole process. It's about a 37-minute video. I'll link it somewhere on the screen so you can find it. And that video is everything I would tell you to do, or tell someone to do who was interested in having a sober life. Thank you so much for paying attention, for showing up for yourself, and for spending a few minutes with me today as I wander around in my local park, enjoying the day. I'll talk to you soon.